Well, welcome everybody. I just wanted to say thank you for joining this brief call tonight. We're going to focus on a new opportunity to reset your routine and redefine results with a revolutionary approach to wellness through natural ingredients and cutting edge science. I'm Lisa Bell Henson. I'm a holistic nurse coach, and I'm talking about the newest product from Zalise, the Wellness Purpose and Connection Company. Before we get started, I want to introduce my husband and business partner, Hal Henson, because he was fortunate to be in the original clinical study on this new product we're going to be talking about. I wanted him to tell just a little bit about his story. To my knowledge, he's my favorite user of BeFit.
To your knowledge?
To my knowledge.
I'm glad.
And I wanted to have you share, Hal, just real briefly about your experiences.
Okay.
And thank you for being on.
Well, thank you for signing me up to be a part of the experimental group 2 days after my knee replacement surgery. And I really am glad. Lisa, you have said for a long time, Hal will eat anything. And my parents said the same thing. My dad used to sit and literally, like, he'd stay after he got through eating to watch me eat. He'd say, I love to watch that boy eat. I literally grew up like that. And, but I will say that my whole life I have struggled with not being obese or anything like that, but overweight, uncomfortably overweight. And it's something that I struggled with. I've made decisions in the past it was almost always radical for me. If I ever lost weight, I had to do radical things. And I just knew that I didn't want to do this, bad at age 60 something, 63. But I knew I needed to lose weight. My doctor told me I did, especially with the knee replacement. So the timing was perfect in that Lisa had signed me up to take the BeFit before we even knew what it was. But I had for 7 years already trusted Zalise with their products and taking them daily. And so knowing that this was a new Zalise product, I said, I'll take it and see what the results are. And so I began taking that April the 19th. I weighed 243 pounds, which was at least 20 pounds overweight for me, and had knee issues anyway, was really slowing me down, but I was moving, trying to walk and exercise as much as I could. But what I couldn't do was reset my routine. I couldn't reset my diet. I couldn't reset my daily routine. I would eat at the wrong times. I would not be able to stop, really stop the eating. I couldn't control that. And the two things that I knew I shouldn't eat, wheat and sugar, for me, not necessarily for everyone, but for me, I knew that. And I really couldn't reset that. When I started taking BeFit on April the 19th, a little over 3 months ago, what I noticed is that I ate less. I was able to turn away the sugar and wheat. I really almost completely took the wheat out of my diet, and I began to lose weight. But what was really cool is that I also had the energy to begin and regularly did my rehab for my knee replacement. And I've gotten stronger. I've now lost 30 pounds over 3 months and 2 weeks or so. In the last month and a half or so, it's been like an average of maybe 2 pounds a week. I've hit some level points at times, but I've just continued my routine, my new habits of eating when I don't eat. Here's what's really cool for me. One, I feel great. I really feel better than I have in many years physically. I know a part of that's the knee replacement and sleeping better, but I also know that it's the BeFit product added to the other things that I've been doing. And so, I really have redefined results for me. And I want to say this before I get off and let others share. I was telling Lisa, I'm so grateful that she signed me up to just be a guinea pig for the products. And but she also knew, whether she admits it or not, that I really did need to lose weight. And we now see today how much I did need to feel better. The other thing is, though, that I want to say about that is, what if I hadn't seen results? Would I have stuck with it? And I think that I believe that I would, because I had a commitment to myself to try. But the main thing is that some people won't see the results immediately like I did. And what I want to say is, don't give up on your commitment to yourself. If you don't see like immediate overnight results with this, because if you give it the time, you're going to feel better. You're going to see that your body is redefining itself, and you'll see results. The other thing is that you don't want to deprive anyone else of having the drastic results that I did. just because you might or might not have immediate drastic results. It's really important to have a perspective of the larger everyone. And so stories you're going to hear tonight are probably pretty dramatic and significant, but don't let that discourage anyone if they don't see immediate. Share with others and share our stories with others, and just be reset your routine and stick with it. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. This is I don't know. I think I'll continue the way I feel, even if I wasn't losing weight. I would still be using BeFit because of the way it makes me feel.
That's awesome.
So anyway,
Thank you for sharing that. And so tonight, what we're going to do is just very briefly, we're going to talk about this product BeFit. We're going to talk about kind of why it does what it does. And we're going to also talk to some other folks who are on this call that are going to share their user experience. But just the fact that all of us know is that 3/4 of adults in this country are overweight or obese. And really, what's even more interesting is half of them say they're overweight and they're trying to usually lose weight at least 5 times in a year. And so when we launched BeFit, we realized how massive this market is. And we realized that, at least 1/5 of people look to some type of supplement in order to lose weight. And so I want to also share with you a question is, really why? Why is there an overweight or an obesity epidemic in this country? And as a holistic nurse, I've worked with people who every single one of them is looking for some effect on their weight. And we know the standard American diet, known as SAD, is really the driver behind a lot of this. We know that big food with ultra processed, sugar sweetened food like substances which are not good for us, are a big driver in this obesity epidemic where it just retrains our taste buds to want sugary things. And we know that just calories in versus calories out is really an old method of thinking, and that foods have a hormonal response. Just like Hal was talking about wheat and sugar, that when his body would have wheat and sugar, he would have a much higher insulin response. He would gain weight every single time. And then most of us don't move enough. And those of us who are over 50, I'm sure nobody on this call, but our metabolism starts to decline. And so I work a lot with women over 50. And when our metabolism declines, we gain weight around the belly. And it is not fun and it is not pretty. And so there we are. So here's a question for you. Who is Angie Thompson? And on your screen, you see on the left, that is really the way that I knew Angie initially, but she is actually the owner and CEO of this company, Zalise, that has just launched BeFit. And she has an amazing story. I hope that you'll hear it personally sometime about the mindset shift that really happened before her transformation occurred. And there's a reason that I'm bringing that up, but she talks about in 2022 that there was an event that happened that was really changed her life completely, that gave her the internal motivation to change her circumstance. And she, at that moment, knew that she had to make changes in her life, but she made the mindset shift before the transformation occurred. And now she is actually the CEO owner of this company. But what she decided to do was to come up with a tool that would help people on their whole health weight management journey. And her goal was to create a tool that would help create fullness so that we wouldn't overconsume, that would help decrease cravings for ultra processed sugar sweetened foods and drinks, that would help to educate and improve mindfulness to make better food choices like proteins over these ultra processed foods, that would help improve energy for exercise and movement, that would help boost that metabolism and counteract that age-related decline, and then use plants that were gentle, that the body recognized, that did not have side effects, instead of pills, potions, or needles. And that is really what BeFit is. This is Angie Thompson's formulation. She created the team, and this is what Hal was just experiencing. And we had the privilege. I've been with this company for 8 years. I have a lot of trust in them, but I had no idea before Hal started taking BeFit, which is just this once a day powder that we would give him first thing in the morning, starting 2 days after a total knee replacement. And so nobody was more surprised than I was after 7 days when Hal had dropped 6 pounds without doing any kind of mobility. And you can actually see some pictures here on your screen of the initial advisory council was given an opportunity to be part of the clinical study. And you can see Lee, her before and after, and she's amazing. Her story is amazing. And I hope you have an opportunity to hear from Lee live at some point. Sandy just posted that she's almost at 30 pounds lost total. I've got her picture. I'm going to show you that in a minute. Dr. Carey, one of the formulators. And then there's Hal. And you can see, God bless him, sitting in his assistive device the day of his total knee replacement surgery, and then what he looked like. And that's about 6 weeks afterwards. But it has been a life-changing event for him. And then I want to show you just a few pictures, and then I'm going to introduce you to a few folks who are going to share real briefly just kind of their experience with BeFit. This is Sandy after a little bit more than 2 months, but she's down 28 pounds. And what she would tell you is that she has incredible energy, that it's been a very simple thing. That's one of the cool things about BeFit. This is not a really intense regimen. It's just a once a day powder that you can either put straight in your mouth or you can mix with water. And this was a new one. This gentleman is the husband of one of the nurse practitioners that we work with. And he had just a profound experience just in a few weeks that he was down 17 pounds. And this is just kind of visually, like you can see that where he's lost that is like in his waist circumference in the gut. And that's where I'm excited that I'm going to be able to call on Debbie and Jeff, because I would love, Debbie, for you to unmute and just share us a little bit. You guys have done this as a husband-wife team. Tell us a little bit about your results with BeFit.
Well, I'm really excited because the last 5 years with menopause, I just gained it, as you said, through the middle due to hormonal changes. I take the BeFit in the morning about a half hour before I even have coffee. I just pour it in my mouth, fill the little envelope up with water, put it in my mouth, swish it around until it dissolves, and then I swallow it. And it tastes pretty good. At first, when I first tried it, it's like, I don't know, it tastes like a baby aspirin. I'm not too sure, but I've gotten used to it. It's not bad. And then I have my first cup of coffee, and then I have coffee with usually Greek yogurt and some fruit or something like that. But I have chocolate in the house. That's what I used to like to pick on. I'm not really a sweet eater per se. Jeff used to make fun of me when, we were dating. My mom always had ring dings and Twinkies because my brothers always ate that stuff and my dad. So he said, I'm hungry. I said, well, just go up in the kitchen and get something. And he opened it up and came down. And he says, oh my Lord, what do you buy all those sweets and you don't eat anything? I said, no. I said, I don't know. I'm just not into sweets. But anyway, I've lost, as of the day after my 6 weeks, I lost 10 pounds. But the biggest thing is I've lost 19 inches total. Now I measure my waist, my chest line, my arms, my thighs, my hips. But the biggest weight loss I lost was in my waist, and I lost 6 pounds. 6 inches, not 6 pounds. I wish it was 6 pounds. 6 inches, and I actually can see an indentation where my waist is, which I couldn't see before, and my rib cage is actually sticking out. So I'm excited to see that because I haven't been able to lose that. And I was on hormone blockers for almost 6 years with the breast cancer. So that even brought menopause even quicker. I'm 71 years old. I'm not on any medication. As Hal says, I've trusted Zalise since 2018, and I was not hesitant to try it. And knowing that people on the trial didn't have any side effects from it and they lost an average of 13 pounds, I was good for it. And it took me, I mean, Jeff will tell you, he was a lot further along than me, but the important thing is to measure yourself all over. Because I probably would, as Hal said, don't get discouraged because some people lose a lot in the beginning, but I'm leveling out and I'm catching up to him. And he's pretty much at maintenance, I think, right now, but I think that's really important to measure because you won't get discouraged. I don't have any sweet cravings for chocolate. And I'm satisfied. I fill up quickly. A lot of times we both turn our food away. And it's like,
That's
well, I
awesome.
really don't need another hamburger. I'm full.
That's awesome.
We've kind of cut out carbs and things like that, and we probably walk another mile. My goal is 10,000 steps, but I'll let Jeff tell his a little bit too. I don't want to take time on everybody else. Go ahead.
We'd
Well,
love to hear it,
Debbie and
Jeff.
I both started taking it, I think around
11th.
June 11th. And since then, as of yesterday or this morning, I've lost 22 pounds. Um, I actually reached my goal, but when I reached it, I go, I think I want to go a little further. So I'm almost there. If I could lose maybe another 3 pounds, I think that's where I'm gonna end up. But yeah, the biggest thing that I noticed was the cravings. I don't crave the sweets. I was a big sweet eater. I'd sit down on TV and I'd eat sweets and you name it. And before I knew it, I was halfway through the bag, and I'm going, oh my gosh. But I
That
don't.
was about 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
So
and it was late at night, and Debbie would always say, "Why are you doing that? It's too late." But I found that probably the biggest thing is that I don't necessarily. I would usually go back for seconds, but I don't do that much anymore. And even during the day, I mean, I'll have some fruit and stuff, but I can't say I miss the sweets at all.
Mhm.
And I've walked and I've done I think anybody knows that you know a, when you go on a journey like this, I mean, you have to make some changes to the way you eat. And not cut out everything, but just maybe smaller amounts. And I think this allows you to do that. You maybe stay on certain things that you like,
Mhm.
but just much smaller amounts. And it just helps keep losing. And yeah, my
Well, 16 inches
yeah,
too.
yeah. I guess Debbie said I've lost about 16 inches total as well. But I noticed it in my shorts because my belt is not keeping my pants up anymore.
Well, Mr.
That's
Todd said,
awesome.
I think Jeff needs another pair of shorts.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That
I
is
said, yeah, I had to
awesome.
adjust his shorts under his belt because he had too many folds in the front. And I said, your shorts are too big.
But
That's a great
He needs new
problem.
shorts.
it is a good product, I think too, and I think it's helped in other ways, physically for myself as well, and I think I do have more energy, and I'm 74, so there's a lot of things you started not being able to do like you wanted to, but I was out the other day and it's 95 degrees and I was weeding because because I had to do something. I guess I was getting bored and sitting in the house, so I went outside and probably
He got his own hot sauna.
yeah, and my
That's
own
awesome.
time. But yeah,
Well,
I would
thank you for
encourage
sharing.
anybody that wants to try this to go ahead and give it a shot. You have
That's
nothing to
great.
lose
Except weight.
except weight.
Yeah, nothing to lose but wait. Thank you very much, Debbie and Jeff. And I'm going to
Sure.
go to Kentucky, from Nashville to Kentucky. Patty Bug, tell us about your BeFit experience. I'm not hearing you.
Am I unmuted now?
Yes, you are. Loud and
Perfect.
clear.
I love hearing everybody's stories, even if I've heard them already. So, my story's a little bit different. As a child growing up, I really didn't have a weight problem. I played tennis, I played softball, I ran the neighborhood, so I really didn't have a problem. Even after I had my children, I didn't have a weight problem. I was still skinny, skinny. And around the 30 mark, 35 mark, like you said, your metabolism started changing. And it wasn't like I put on a lot of weight in just 1 year. It was like every decade, I think I put on an extra 5 to 7 pounds. And all of a sudden, when I'm 71 now, when I turned 50, I'm like, oh my, what's going on here, So Jim and I, about 5 years ago, started intermittent fasting, and we have found that it's been so good because I know you know this, Lisa, after 17 hours of not eating, all your cells start to rejuvenate. And then, of course, 3-day fasts, they totally do. And that's just such a healthy thing that the Lord shared with us to do as we were, seeking out something to do to lose weight. But then when this BeFit came along, I thought I had got down to about my last, 10 pounds. And that last 10 pounds truly is the hardest. I'm not sure exactly what my goal weight should be, but I knew what I wanted to be. And I was still 10, 12 pounds over that. So I got really excited when the BeFit came out. and was going with Paula, Paula Wilson, to Florida, and mine didn't come in. But guess what? As soon as we got down there, she had her ship down there. The second day it came in, so we both started on it. So I didn't have a scales or anything down there, and I didn't really do anything different. I still walked every day. I really didn't get to work out, at Planet or YMCA like I do at home. So really nothing different. The first day I took the whole dose, and it made me a little jittery. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to do a half a dose. So I did. I took a half a package, and what I did really to make it easy, I put a whole package in a bottle of water, and then I drank half of it one day and half of the next. But I noticed almost immediately my sugar cravings were much diminished to the point where, I wasn't craving that stuff. And we've made that statement before on here, but sugar truly is killing people. So that really made me excited. But much to my surprise, when I got home, I had actually got on the scales, and for the time I left, I was down there, 9 days. And in those 9 days, I had lost 10 pounds. So it was pretty crazy. 10 pounds total and 2 inches in my waist. And then I kind of plateaued. I'm probably not near as faithful as I need to be, but there's just been so many more things. My nails got better. I had a haircut today, and I looked in the floor and was amazed. Hardly any gray hair was in the floor. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I got so excited, and I took a picture and showed people my auburn hair. And there's just, those 6 plant-based things in the BeFit, I truly believe is similar to what we experienced with CBD in the beginning. It puts our body in homeostasis, and then our body can heal like God intended for it to. And we were never supposed to have gray hair. I'm real sure about that.
Well, thank you, Patty. And so really your 10 pounds have been on a half dose of BeFit. So that's great. Thank you for sharing your story. And I want one more.
Jim lost. And Jim, I told you today, Jim lost too. Yeah, he's lost about 10, 12 pounds. So yeah.
Good for Jim. I love it. You guys look great. It's super fun to see you guys. Look forward to seeing you in person.
Thank you.
And then I would love to circle back to Randall here in Arkansas. Randall, tell us a little about your BeFit experience. I think you're muted there.
Okay, so talk loud.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
All right. Well, I'm at a new low today. I'm 198.5 pounds. My goal was to be under 200 by the 1st of August, so I think I made it.
That's great, Randall. What was your starting weight?
My starting weight was 218.4. So,
and how long has that taken for you to hit that goal?
I started on June the 16th. So what is it, 45 days?
Yeah.
43 days?
Just shy, yeah.
Yeah, about 43 days.
And what have you noticed other than just the weight loss, Randall?
Oh, it's easier to walk across the yard, and especially carrying sacks of feed on my shoulder. My body seems like, hey, you're used to carrying this kind of weight, so it's just seemed to be easier to do so. And let's see, I went from a 38-inch waisted pants down to 34. I pulled a pair of pants out of the back of the closet and put them on, and they fit. So I'm kind of happy about that. So my next goal is 180 pounds.
Oh, wow. So let's bring it. Let's keep going. Thank you so much for sharing that, Randall.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for sharing. And that's really just a few of our very dedicated team members. And Patty was talking a little about some of the compounds that are in BeFit. So I really would like to talk about how this product was formulated. It was actually formulated between Angie Thompson, who we've talked about. She brought together the medical advisory board, the corporate team, and also Dr. Philip Blair. And we have a great, just even a 15-minute overview of Dr. Blair's call about 2 specific compounds within BeFit. Of course, it has 6 plant compounds: BCP, berberine, fenugreek, OEA, inulin, and psyllium husk. very carefully curated. Again, this has been about a 2-year process of coming up with this product. But I loved hearing Dr. Blair's focus on 2 of the ingredients, primarily BCP, which Patty mentioned, supporting the endocannabinoid system, which most people don't even know we have, through what we call the CB2 network receptor, which helps with relaxation and calmness. And we've seen that with BeFit. We see that it acts as an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory agent, which again, we see that in helping decrease joint discomfort. We also see, surprisingly, that it has acted as an antidepressant for mood support. It has supported metabolism and fat burning, generated energy and heat, and weirdly helping eliminate that really stubborn belly fat area that we've talked about, around the trunk especially, and has been very effective at helping control cravings and hunger, enhancing sleep with no adverse effects. And that's beta caryophyllene with Dr. Blair. So if you're a science person and you want more information, we'd love to share that with you. Another compound called OEA is a master regulator and part of the endocannabinoid system that signals hormones, and it helps with appetite suppression, like glucagon, like protein 1 or GLP-1. Some people have heard of that type of pharmaceutical. And it helps decrease inflammation, improves glucose tolerance, promotes longevity and memory retention. There's over 2,800 studies on OEA with very broad benefits, and again, no adverse effects with this plant-based product. And so we see results somewhat similar to what you heard tonight with this very easy to sample product that is easy to travel with. It comes with 30 packets in a box, no refrigerated needed. It's vegan friendly, and you can actually put it right directly and shoot it under the tongue, or you can mix it with water. You can take a half dose, you can take 2 packs. So it's very, very flexible, and everything a person really needs to launch this program with confidence. All the material on the science, the kind of foods to eat. Again, that is really a very important part of whole health. Angie Thompson really didn't envision something that would do all the heavy lifting, but would help be a tool to help us optimize our whole health journey. And so what we would love to share is that Zalise is a very unique business model that really pays individuals as products flow through our distribution channel. And so the retail value of 1 month of BeFit is $149, but as a wholesale company, we're offering this to VIP customers, anybody who's part of the Zalise family, for $99, which is an amazing value for a product that works like this. And for people who are currently part of the network, they can actually get 3 BeFits for $2.99 and get 1 free. So that's another really great value. For people who just want to be a VIP customer, they can enroll with $99 and set up an auto ship for that really holds that $99 price. Or they can actually join as a point of distribution, depending on how much BeFit that they would like to actually move into the market, whether it's 2, 5, or 11. And the savings are tremendous with the gold kit, which moves 11 boxes of BeFit into the market. And so what we see is just incredible results. You see some of them stated here with Sandy. I lost 11 pounds in a week. In 7 days, I lost 7 pounds, 14 pounds gone. This stuff works. We have seen the gamut. So what we would like to do is just to offer you, if you're hearing this video, somebody cared enough to share BeFit with you, we would love to have a conversation about just, if this is something you think would help on your whole health journey, or somebody that because we love being connected with people who need what we have. At the same time, our team is launching a 5-week program we're going to do group coaching around BeFit, helping select one thing about your health or your body, that transformational goal, one thing that if we could focus on together and transform, that maybe that's not your body weight, maybe it's some other part of health. But we're going to launch on that in August. And just for accountability, and to be part of a community of like-minded people, we would love to extend the offer to take a look at Zalise, take a look at BeFit, Thank you for joining us on this informational call. We would love to be able to share more information with you and talk about whether this would be a good next step on your whole health journey. So thank you so much for joining us. It looks like we have one little question here today. Randall, yay. Congratulations, Randall. You've got some fan mail here. And then we loved your story, Patty Bug. So all of, yes, these are amazing people. And we love working with people who are feeling that obligation when they've had a positive experience with a product like BeFit, that they really would love to share that with the world. And so we thank you for joining us today. Thank you for all of you guys who shared your BeFit experiences, and we look forward to helping more and more people. So please watch the video, share the video, and connect us with those who you think would help us. So thank you again. We're going to stop the recording.
Thanks, Lisa. Good night.
Good night, Patty. Thank you.